that's going to be it for this video. Tune in next time to see me probably break something else. Well, here we are on Sunday, March 23rd. I got the car fixed last weekend, transmission back in it, drove it around a bit, got it licensed and renewed the registration and got it insured, and drove it to work on Friday, drove it to Bible study Saturday, and then drove it to visit my parents Saturday as well. And when we got to their house, it wasn't going in reverse. Well, it didn't have any reverse, and put it back in drive to move out of the way, and it didn't want to go anywhere unless you revved it up real high. So Sunday we went and grabbed my father-in-law's trailer and went down and got it, and now I'm backing it off the trailer here at home. It does drive. It's making a funny noise from the transmission area. I had a noise like this once before with a different transmission, and what was happening, and also the same symptoms of not wanting to drive. And what was happening was the torque converter was like, it was properly installed. You bolted up. When it happened before, I had that transmission in that car for a month. And this car for a month, and drove it around, and it started making a funny noise, and eventually it just wouldn't drive anymore unless you gave it a bunch of RPM. And what happened when I took it apart, I found that the torque converter was coming out of the front of the transmission enough. It was pushing on the flex plate forward enough that it was decoupling from the transmission pump stator gear, and eventually wore down the two little tabs in the stator gear that the torque converter ears, whatever you would call that, hook into to drive the pump. And it wore those down. There was a significant groove in them, and then it wouldn't drive anymore. And I think that's probably what's going on here. I don't remember if it's the same torque converter in this transmission as within that transmission or not. If it is, then it could possibly be torque converter related. Otherwise, maybe there's something going on with like installation, the depth, and I need to put shims between the flex plate and the torque converter. I'm not really sure. But there is fluid dripping out of it. It's probably transmission fluid. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll figure that out when we tear it apart. But that's what's going on now. So you can kind of see on the video, there's some smoke coming from down in here somewhere. And I really don't know what it is. I assume it's coolant from somewhere because it's low on coolant a little bit. You can see right there on that tab of that gasket there, it's a little damp with something. Not really sure, but I'm gonna figure that out and then figure out what else is going wrong with this thing. But yeah, I drove in here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on exactly, but something's up with the transmission fluid pump. It's not pumping enough fluid to engage the clutches properly. Whether it's torque converter or pump itself related, not sure. We'll have to pull the transmission to figure that out. Engine seems fine. Nothing wrong with there. Unless maybe it's got a coolant leak from somewhere, which would kind of suck, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So we'll figure it out.